In this episode of Learning Without Limits, let me start with something that might challenge you in the first 2 seconds. What if the most important work in education right now is not preparing the young, but empowering the aging? That question may feel disruptive. Education systems have always centered youth. Curriculum, funding models, accountability structures, innovation labs, all built around early life stages. But we are living in a demographic reality that is shifting fast. Populations are aging, careers are extending, technology is accelerating, and cognitive health is becoming a public concern. So here is the deeper question. Are we designing adult education programs that truly protect and strengthen the mind? Or are we offering comfortable activities that make us feel good but do not challenge the brain in meaningful ways? Let me share a moment from my own experience. I once facilitated a course for adults over 60. I made the mistake of simplifying the material. I thought I was being considerate. I removed complex readings. I shortened discussions. I lowered expectations. Attendance declined. Energy dropped. Curiosity faded. When I redesigned the course and restored intellectual rigor, something shifted. The discussions intensified. Participants debated ideas. They challenged each other. Completion rates improved. The room felt alive again. That experience reshaped how I think about adult education. Respect is cognitive fuel. Challenge is intellectual oxygen. Research in neuroscience confirms what many of us have observed in practice. Neuroplasticity continues throughout life. The brain reorganizes in response to demand. When adults engage in complex, structured learning, especially in social environments, we see improvements in attention, memory, and executive function. But here is where we need to be honest with ourselves as education professionals. Too many adult programs unintentionally underestimate learners. We design for ease instead of growth. We prioritize comfort over cognitive stretch. We fear losing enrollment if we increase difficulty. Let me ask you something provocative. When did education become afraid of challenge? We would never design a fitness program without resistance. Why would we design intellectual programs without cognitive load? Lifelong learning is not enrichment on the side. Is cognitive infrastructure. It builds what researchers call cognitive reserve, the brain's resilience against decline. It strengthens networks that support reasoning, memory, and problem solving. And just as importantly, it reinforces identity and purpose. There's another layer here that we cannot ignore. Social engagement is a powerful predictor of cognitive health. Learning that happens in community multiplies its impact. Discussion groups, peer mentoring, intergenerational classrooms, these are not just pedagogical strategies. They are protective structures for the mind. Consider the older adult who learns digital storytelling. The process demands narrative construction, memory retrieval, technological skill, emotional reflection, and social feedback. That is a complex neural workout, is far more potent than passive entertainment. And yet, we often categorize these programs as leisure. We need to elevate the conversation. Adult education intersects with public health, workforce development, and community stability. When older adults remain cognitively engaged, they contribute economically, mentor younger generations, and participate more fully in civic life. As leaders, we must ask, are we building programs that reflect the science of learning across the lifespan? Here are practical strategies that I have found effective. Design courses that require synthesis and application. Case studies. Ethical dilemmas. Project-based assignments. Multi-step challenges. Do not dilute content. Scaffold it. Create structured discussion environments. Social cognition strengthens learning. Encourage debate, reflection, and peer teaching. Integrate technology intentionally. Learning new digital tools activates working memory and adaptive reasoning. Digital fluency is cognitive training. Encourage older learners to teach. Teaching consolidates memory. It reinforces identity. It builds confidence. Measure outcomes beyond enrollment. Track engagement hours. Completion rates. Self-reported cognitive confidence. Community participation. And let us speak briefly about ethics. Avoid fear-based messaging about cognitive decline. Lifelong learning is not a cure for disease. It is a pathway to engagement and resilience. Communicate hope with integrity. There are legal considerations as well. Accessibility standards must be honored. Digital platforms must be inclusive. Data privacy must be respected. Cognitive health initiatives require thoughtful governance. I want to pause and turn this inward. When was the last time you, as an education professional, learned something that stretched you intellectually? When did you last sit in discomfort as a learner? Thought leadership is not built on comfort. It is built on growth. We are at an inflection point. Artificial intelligence is transforming work. Longevity is reshaping demographics. The traditional life arc of education, work, retirement is dissolving. Education must become continuous, fluid, lifelong. If we fail to adapt, we risk irrelevance. If we lead, we redefine aging itself. Imagine institutions that partner with healthcare systems to promote cognitive engagement. Imagine universities that treat lifelong learning as core mission, not peripheral revenue stream. Imagine communities where older adults are recognized not as dependents, but as intellectual contributors. That future requires courage. So here is my invitation. If this perspective challenges you, reflect on your own programs. Are they truly demanding? Are they socially rich? Are they designed with dignity and rigor? Leave a comment and share what you are seeing in your institution. What is working? What is failing? What needs rethinking? And if this conversation resonates, share this episode with a colleague. Forward it to a dean. Bring it into your next strategic planning meeting. Let us widen the circle. Education does not end at graduation. The brain does not retire at 60. Growth is not age-bound. Thank you for joining me in this episode of Learning Without Limits. If you believe lifelong learning is the next frontier of education leadership, subscribe, share this episode, and continue the conversation. Together, we can shape an education system that honors the full arc of human potential.